Okay, good evening. I'd like to call to order the November 19th City Council meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, grant us the wisdom to do what's best for the people of Avalon in our council meeting, and also let's keep the people of the Philippines in our prayers. They have really been wiped out. Amen.
Thank you, Ralph. Roll call, Denise.
Councilmember Hernandez.
Here.
Councilmember Morrow.
Here.
Councilmember Olson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ponce.
Following instructions, right into the mic here.
And Mayor Kennedy.
Present. Do you have any announcements or written communication this evening?
Well, Mayor, I just have one announcement to make, and that is that item number 2 under your presentation section from Christine Guerrero of the League of California Cities, we will reschedule. We found out after the agenda had been posted that she was ill and unable to make it. So we are having Christine show up on the first meeting in December, but she won't be here tonight.
Excellent, thank you. Any announcements, Council?
We have one more announcement that there will be 2 meetings tonight, but the council will not receive any additional compensation for those 2 meetings.
I think you just got upstaged.
I think so.
Give me a chance. I forgot.
You've always done it.
Okay, shall we move on to our first presentation?
Yes, Mayor, the first presentation this evening is from Marvin from Edison and Roland from Henkels and McCoy regarding the 2 vault replacements that are proposed for downtown Avalon. So, Marvin, would you please enlighten us as to what's going on downtown?
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy and Council. So I actually want to speak to 2 items. One about the vaults. I'll cover that second, but first I want to give you an update on the bar hole installation project as well. I think over a year ago there was a press release what we did to let the city know that we're going to be installing holes in the lateral streets and the main streets for gas surveying for leaks. So that project is ongoing. We're almost completed doing the main streets, and then somewhere before Christmas or so we'll start doing our inspections on the laterals. So just want to give you that update. I think we have about 4,000 or so to do in the lateral streets in the folks' private residence within the easement of the gas. So that's an update on that project. As far as the vaults, I don't know if council had a chance to get the pictures, but we have 2 vaults that we're going to replace on Metropole. One sort of right across the street from the post office, and another up the street near the clinic. We're almost right across the street where the museum construction is taking place. And the reason we're doing those vault replacements is they've been deteriorated over years. They were installed 40, 50 years ago. And each vault takes probably 3 to 4 weeks to actually excavate the existing vault and put in a new vault. So it's pretty intrusive. We're working with Dennis and the city and traffic control plans. We're out there and did a job walk today at both locations. Walk through some things. We have some adjustments to make on the traffic control plans because it's obviously a very tight area and corner at that intersection there. And then we'll submit that to Dennis and the city for a permit. We also agreed to start those projects in January, stay away from Christmas. We're going to do one at a time. The first one, we'll do the one closest to the water. We'll start that in January, and we'll do the second one right after that. It's probably a good 8 to 10 weeks where things will be pretty disruptive in that area of the city. So we're very conscious of that. But we obviously want to do it in a planned effort versus a sort of an unplanned situation where we have the vault collapse or something like that. So in general, that's really it. It's definitely going to be disruptive. We think the cooperation with the city is going to be important in terms of getting the word out for the residents and the folks that are going down in that area of town. So after that, I just open up for questions that you might have on either of the two projects.
Will there be any disruption in service with the vault being out?
Yeah, good question. There will be a 12-hour outage to begin, but as once we complete that outage, we will have temporary power. What we call a shoe fly will be installed, so all the businesses down there will be on power after that. So we'll work with the city in terms of when actually to do that first outage. Probably, hopefully, if we can agree to do a Sunday night type of situation or wherever is convenient for the city and those businesses to start that particular outage and get the temporary power up before main parts of business starts operating.
And I would imagine then that Vons would be part of that 12-hour outage?
Yes, correct.
Okay, that would be probably the most affected company, so maybe work directly with them so that they know not to have a barge or have a refrigeration truck available for that period of time.
Right. Yeah. The plan is to we get closer to an actual date to work with those residents. Obviously, they're going to get, or those businesses. Obviously, they're going to get notified, but we do plan on actually contacting those managers and having a sit down and explain what's going to be going on in front of on that street, because it's going to be pretty intense. I do have. Roland, you have extra copies of those? I do want to just give you an idea, just visually, of what the pictures look like, so you get a sense of what's taking place. I think you get a sense for how far down, how wide these vaults are that we have to replace. Go down there and make sure that we put obviously replace that vault, and so that we hopefully don't have to come back for another 50 years.
The guy in the hole looks like he's that big. You might want to put Catalina Broadband on that list, because they have power supplies that power
all the wireless
those fiber nodes up to Hamilton Cove and all over the place. So just because you're doing some work in one area doesn't necessarily mean that's not going to affect some other area. Just write down Catalina Broadband 0255 and give them a heads up on what you're going to do, and like a schedule so they can make provisions. They've had 2 technicians available every day except Sunday.
Okay.
So
Appreciate that.
Sorry, one more thing, Marvin. And I can work with you offline on this, but I think that we may need a mitigated negative declaration as part of this as well.
Okay.
I'll be happy to work with you on that part.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a big hole.
It's a big hole, and we're doing 2. So, other questions?
Anyone in the audience have any questions for Marvin? Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Okay, oral communications. Anyone in the audience care to address the council for any item that is not currently on our agenda? You may now come forward. Hi,
wait a
Dennis.
minute.
Just a brief update I wanted to give you on a couple projects. Thanks to Marvin for bringing you up to speed on the Edison vault replacement. We're working together well, and we'll make sure that that's all copacetic for the public. Pebbly Beach emergency sewer repair is now progressing well. We had a couple of unforeseen conditions down there with laterals that we weren't aware of that were coming into the existing sewer. Contractors working as we speak, making a tie-in on the lower end. I wanted to thank the public and the businesses along Pebbly Beach for realizing what we have to do there and accommodating our needs. We put in some temporary restroom facilities and asked them not to use their toilets for a certain amount of time while we're constructing this pipeline. I wanted to brief you on the museum site. That's going well. As a matter of fact, the contractor today, in anticipation of rain, placed some erosion control blankets on his slope that he's currently contouring for the new development. And that is in compliance with the state's required stormwater prevention plan, and everything looks like it's acceptable and in compliance. Lower Terrace Road, the contractor has been procuring materials and fabricating materials on the mainland. He's going to be issued a notice to proceed on December 2nd. Contracts are in the mail and signed. All bonding and insurances are in place. So we're going to ask the public as well to be cognizant of the fact that we're working up on Lower Terrace Road, and it's going to proceed well, and everything looks good as we speak right now. So those are the three items that I wanted to get to you to see if you had any questions, and just notify the public. We wanted to thank everybody for their cooperation. Any questions?
I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thanks, Dennis. Hi, Jen.
Just some quick community reminders and kudos. The first one is that we're holding a Thanksgiving Day pie run on Thanksgiving morning at 8 a.m. This is a free event, and it's really just building community support and getting people in the great outdoors before they go home and eat a giant meal. And so we're encouraging families and individuals to come down to Wrigley Stage at 8 a.m., come and bring a potluck dish to share with you, which is why it's called the Pie Run. You'll leave the food there at Wrigley Stage, and then you'll go about whatever activity you choose. So you could run 10 miles, you could walk around Hogsback with your dog, you could take a stroll with your kids out to Pebbly Beach and back. And then once you come back to Wrigley Stage, everyone will just mingle and have a nice visit together. We're hoping this becomes a good annual event. They do this in a lot of other towns. So we had some community members come forward and express interest in this, and we're hoping there's a good turnout. So Wrigley Stage, Thanksgiving morning, 8 a.m., rain or shine. We'll see you there. And then I also wanted to publicly thank the Lions Club and Rotary Club for their generous donations for our holiday food program. Through their contributions, we'll be able to help a large number of families, both for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday and then also the Christmas holiday, with food boxes that have a turkey and holiday items, as well as non-perishables for their home. So that's a big thank you to Lions Club and Rotary, and then the Island Company is also doing a generous donation from their board for the Christmas baskets as well. So that's great. And then if you missed out on the Cub Scouts doing their Scouting for Food canned food drive, that was last night and tonight. If you missed out, you can still bring your non-perishable items to the City Hall. We have a collection box here. Also, you could bring it directly to the Cornerstone Teen Center, and all the food collected goes straight to the Cornerstone Teen Center's food pantry, so it stays in our community for families in need for the holidays. Okay?
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, anyone else in the audience care to address the council for any item not currently on our agenda? Okay, why don't we move to the Housing Authority?
Okay.
Roll call, Denise?
Commissioner Hernandez.
Here.
Commissioner Ponce.
Here.
Commissioner Olson.
Present.
Commissioner Morrow.
Here.
And Chairman Kennedy.
Here. Anyone in the audience care to address the Housing Authority for any item that's not currently on our agenda? Now's your time. Consent calendar.
Yes, there are 2 items on the consent calendar, actions from the November 5th Housing Authority meeting, and then the recommended approval of a professional services agreement with RSG Incorporated.
Okay, there's 2 items on the consent calendar. Any member care to have any further discussion on the 2 items that are on the consent calendar?
I make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Call for a vote, please.
All ayes.
Okay, seeing that there's not any general business, commissioners' reports?
That's why we don't get paid.
There you go. We will adjourn that meeting. Okay, I'll call the council meeting back to order. Consent calendar.
Yes, Mayor, there are 8 items on your consent calendar this evening. Actions from the November 5th council meeting, warrant register for approval, a 2014 growth resolution, an outboard engine purchase, an outdrive replacement, a transportation permit amendment for Bike Catalina, and a request to expand office space for Catalina Express.
Okay, I would like to have a little bit further discussion on item number 8. Any member care to have any more discussion on any of the items on consent?
I need to pull item number 7.
Item number 7.
Okay.
Okay, any member of the audience care to discuss anything that's on our consent calendar? Okay, anyone care to entertain a motion then for items?
1 through 6, so moved.
I'll second.
Call for a vote, please.
All ayes.
And I need to pull item 7 because I need to recuse myself from the vote.
I just want a break.
Okay, I will then entertain a motion to approve item number 7 as presented.
Discussion?
Discussion?
I'm sorry.
Do I need
Yes,
to leave the
because there's going to be
Right.
discussion, now you need to,
Sorry, Michael. Sorry. As I understand this business, it's transporting people from Avalon to the interior for bike rides, either around the interior and then transporting them back, or transporting people from Avalon to the airport in the sky and letting them ride down from the airport in the sky. That's what the application says. I don't know how we issue an interior business permit for a business that's based in Avalon. Business starts here, reservations here, it begins here, it ends here. It's just like the Island Company running tours, or Adventure Tours running tours. And I think we've got a long waiting list for regular commercial permits in Avalon, and I think this is a convenient way to get around the waiting list. Like, I want to be a contractor in Avalon, I've got a request for a permit, I'm going to get a job in the interior, so I have the right to get an interior resident permit. And I think it's just circumvention, is my feeling.
But is the intent to, this isn't adding another vehicle, is it?
Yes. Right now, I have a vehicle to transport the bikes, as I understand it, and this is to transport people. That's as I read it.
What do they do now?
I believe they use the airport and the sky bus. They transport the bikes and the people ride up in the bus. I think. From what,
I thought he already had a vehicle,
I believe he has a vehicle to transport the bikes.
just the bikes.
Yeah,
That's
that's
only transporting of the bikes.
It's like a porter.
A porter
who
with a
has
trailer.
a
Correct.
trailer behind it.
But that's only to transport the bikes?
Correct.
Now, if you can entertain a motion to hold this over while we get more information to confirm. You could live with that.
We'd be happy to do that.
We could do that.
That'd be
It'd be fine.
good direction.
You want a motion or just we're going to hold it over?
We can take that as direction and bring this back at the next meeting, I think.
Cool. Your turn.
I'll get mine.
No, don't get him.
You mind? My back is like Gonzo, so get in and out of the chair is going to be entertaining. You could go to my concern on item number 8 is that I think it's great that the Catalina Express wants to rent the vacant space that's out there, but in the event we have another cross-channel carrier that has the interest in engaging in business on the island, there's not a space available for them, so if we can make...
Yes, there is.
Where?
Next door, where Life County is storing stuff right now. There's another window there.
So there is another one.
Right next to the helicopter.
Brian's nodding his head, so.
Okay, all right, then I'm okay with number 8.
Well, we could put it in the lease if you'd like, Bob, that that's a caveat if we needed to expand the space.
You know, use that as a caveat if you need to, because I mean,
Yeah.
we don't want to create a monopoly of tenants at the mall, so.
Good night, Chris.
So on that note, I'll move to approve item number 8.
I'll second.
Call for a vote, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's start over because I didn't clear it.
Okay.
All ayes.
City manager's report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want the council and the community to be aware that I convened an all-hands meeting today with our employees to discuss our financial situation and to discuss how we may work with the employees and the employee associations to determine a path forward, recognizing that we all need to tighten our belts and make some changes. And I feel that the meeting went well, although, what was the name you gave me, Denise? Dr. Doom?
Downer.
Yeah, anyway.
Mr. Brown.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Well, I attended the first one you had this morning, Ben, sat in the back, and, you know, that's never a pleasant thing to share with employees. I think that they took it well. Your presentation was on the mark. It's not a fun place to be, so thank you for taking the lead and taking that role. Scott?
Nothing to report tonight.
Ooh, saving some money.
Is that why you upstaged Denise, because you had to contribute something to tonight's meeting?
Yes.
I will contribute I'll read the title for the next one. For the closed session.
Okay, why don't we move to council member reports? Anything?
Yes, 2 things. 3 things, actually. Maybe 4. Last Friday, Avalon High School's football team faced the #1 team in the state of California. They were undefeated. They had never trailed. Avalon succeeded in smashing them 44-27, which means on Saturday at noon, Avalon will play in the semifinal game at Faith Baptist, which is located in Canoga Park. If we're successful on Saturday, the league championship game will be held, no, not the league, the CIF championship game will be held in Avalon at Joe Machado Field, which will be really cool.
It's a Sunday after? Or Saturday after Thanksgiving, right?
It's either the Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving, one of those 2 days. A lot of people are planning on going to the game on Saturday, so if you're thinking about going, contact some people and probably get a ride. And then the other big thing is I'm going to go to Contract City's meeting tomorrow night, so.
With me.
You're going to?
Yes.
Double date? All right. But we're going to be I'm going to be traveling on a free ticket because of the Chamber Marketing Conference.
Fine.
I'm done.
Ralph?
I'm finished. I'm good.
Closed session?
Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Title Fire Chief.
Good night, Tony.
Good night, Chris. Chris, it starts at 6.
So lucky, so lucky.
I won't need to do that.
Because I'm going to keep
Okay, we've returned from closed session. Would you care to report back, Scott?
No reportable action.
Okay, this meeting's adjourned.
Goal answers.
Roll answers. Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention Fred Lowe.